This is Castle of Castle Does, and I got some new stuff for you. Definitely branching out now, so there will be the regular episodes that cover Subnautica, um, as well as any kind of different kind of content that comes up. And right now, Quake 3 mapping and um, is something that I'm going to be delving into, as well as finishing my Doom level, which is something that I haven't worked on in a little while, but now that I actually have time to do it, I can actually finish my Doom level. So I'm not currently planning to do a full Quake 3 level at the moment, and at this point in time, I'm just kind of getting used to Radiant again. Radiant, the editor that kills the spacebar for anybody who gets used to a different editor. The spacebar in Radiant will copy things, and if you hold down the spacebar, it makes this. So, oh yeah, and you have to press backspace in order to delete stuff, because delete, I believe, moves the camera forward. This is GDK Radiant, so it is not representative, in my opinion, of the best version of Radiant. For me to actually show you Radiant in action, that's unfortunate. However, GDK Radiant is useful for a few things. However, let me stop for a second and finish this box room because I'm OCD. I'm going to cover RPG Maker instead. I want to do something a little wacky, like just something easy, something simple. And RPG Maker is something that interests me a lot. All right, so let me close down these two editors. I don't want to save my box room. Okay, right here is a fresh RPG Maker project. And I know you're just thinking like, well, I just had Quake 3 open. Well, and I'm sorry if this was like a switch and bait. The title of the episode won't be a switch and bait. But anyway, or a bait and switch. Can't switch then bait at the same time. So this right here is a default, completely fresh RPG Maker project. And RPG Maker is an interesting editor for a number of reasons. One of the things that catches my attention isn't so much the fact that it's got this Ruby script thing going on. I actually really don't enjoy working in this code base, because whoever did this seems to write functions just so that they can have one line of code, and it'll be one line of code that's like, what is that even? Okay, it's getting the window height, but there are so many examples where it's just like, really? You could have just put that. Well, it just feels really fragmented, and Ruby script like feels really. It's like, if there's an error, can you please just tell me that there's a fucking error? I don't want to have like, oh, but you can type in stuff and it won't give you a problem if there's a typo. That really, that annoys me personally. But I'm not the greatest of programmers out there, so I'm not really delving into this part of it so much. One of the things that interests me a lot about RPG Maker is that there's a game already here. There's already enough here for a game. Your job is just to simply do something with it. But 9 times out of 10, and this happened to me too, most people probably, is, you immediately think, I want to make the next Final Fantasy, and just completely fuck it up. Scope. I'm not going to fall for anything. I'm going to just take RPG Maker as a default game and just build something on it. I'm just going to take whatever's already here. We got weapons, we got characters, we got Eric, the berserking warrior, Natalie, the master assassin monk. She's a monk. I'm gonna make okay. You're gonna be my main character. Ernest is my main character for this game, and there's all classes already set up. I want to know what this game is like. What did they design for everybody to be able to work with? Is there actually kind of a fun game if I just take this and just put it together for them? It's weird. And that's my goal. I'm gonna sit here and I'm just gonna make whatever the hell this was supposed to be in the first place. So the first thing I'm gonna have to do is trade out Ernest, and all this other stuff looks perfectly good. Map. This is where the player current will start at the beginning of the game. Currency is going to be called G because it's gold or something. Yep, all of this is fine. Everything except for one thing that bugs me about this is in vocab there's emerged. Yeah, where is it? You're here somewhere. I know you are. Tax. That's it. That's all I care about. That's the one thing that every single time I see it, it looks like English, and I can't deal with it. Okay, so everything going on here. All right, I got Ernest as my main character. I got I'm gonna go ahead and make this just sort of like Zelda, where I'm just gonna string together these small entire tile sets, and each of these areas are about the size of one screen. So what you're looking at right there, I'd like to zoom in more. I guess I'm like overkilling with the resolution that I have available to me. Uh, so I'm just gonna make a regular exterior. Interesting. Is this the? Oh, weird. Okay, that's a weird thing to have. I'm not gonna need that. That right there is so like I can have the world like continuously uh, looping. That's really good for like if you're doing like a world map, which I'm not doing. I'm just gonna take. I want to take like a environment and just sort of like base it off of the original Zelda from NES. I want this to be a fucking NES game. That's the scope here. This as dirt simple as you can get. I'm just gonna take it and just work with that. Okay, so one of the things that really interests me about this is now I can open up Unreal 4 and I can open up a lot of new editing tools out there. Um, RPG Maker has a scripting system. See, everybody has spent tons and tons of time and energy to make these visual scripting systems that are easier than just learning programming. Well, RPG Maker attacks the problem from a completely different angle, which is okay. Here, look, right? You just double click. Okay, so here's all the code that I can input. All right. Let's say I want to make a monster. Uh, oh, actually, it's not even that hard. If I just want to make a monster, I can do this. In a weird sense, it's exactly like the visual scripting language, in that each one of these objects that I create, that is an entity. Let me put some ground so you can walk on it. Walk in this area. Okay. So, click save. Project 2. Alright. So here's this guy. He doesn't respond to me at all. So, well, I mean, simply put, you go like this, you go action button. That's because there's no code here. So I can show text and go, and it has all these things right here. It's so easy to just make a little RPG with this. It's just silly, and it's also so easy to just overscope what you can do with it too. Like, what's this come out to be like when you just make a regular, simple, little, tiny game? I don't know. It takes so little effort. It actually. All right. So I'm Ernest. If I press X, I can look at all my items. I mean, it looks exactly like a Final Fantasy, old school Final Fantasy um, menu and everything like that. So I got a short sword, a wood shield. I'm gonna take all that stuff off. I want you to start off as a fresh character with no cool stuff. You have to get it all. I'm gonna give you a wood sword, or I'm sorry, a regular sword in the beginning of the game. Okay, so hit enter. I'm a monster. You respond. There you go. That's the basis for all this. Hmm. Hmm. What can go on here? All kinds of stuff. Double click this guy, and if you go through this, so I mean, there's one way to do like a visual scripting language, but then you can just do a programming language that is literally everything's written out for you. You just pick what functions you want. This would be awesome if it was looked into by a bigger company who was looking to do scripting more easily. Doing it this way actually gives me code, and if I really, really wanted to, I could go, be able to right click on this or something and actually edit the code itself and make it something that's not a prefab, but like be able to call other functions and just have everything all like already set up that way and be able to pick them from a menu. I mean, this stuff is supposed to be made for a very young audience, I'm assuming, but there is actually some intelligence going on behind the design of this tool set, which I it's kind of interesting. Right. All right, so to wrap things up a little bit, because I do realize this episode's a little bit long just describing the editing tools. Actually, that's something I plan to do with the format of the episodes in general. Is like the introductions to the tool sets will be non-time lapsed, of course, and then I'll go into time lapse stuff periodically depending on how things are going. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. Um, I have, let's see, there's actually a lot of different things to talk about with this in general. One, we have a sort of, like in Quake, you have entities. Now, this entity is interactable through different ways. As auto run means that it automatically runs its code as soon as it's loaded into the scene. Parallel process means that it does not interrupt any other objects as they. So there's a so this could be compared to blueprints or Kismet. Uh, I keep hearing blueprints are easy. Any blueprints are like the more complicated Kismet from Unreal 4, but it's almost the same sort of thing, except I choose what goes on inside of my thing with a scripting language that's all written out for me, and I don't ever have to worry about any syntax unless I really, really, really want to. Because believe it or not, this actually has the ability to just type in code anyway. So, okay, while I'm just gonna finish gushing about this, it just strikes me as something that it's a good fucking angle. It's a really interesting way to do it. And I know I already talk about that. Um, so you have your visual side of it, and then you have the code side of it. And this script can actually call functions from the Ruby script stuff over there. Okay. But most of the really simple stuff that goes on here. Okay, so I got a battle processing. I can escape from the fight, and if I die, it doesn't end the game. The reason why I do that is because I like to do other stuff like a death penalty or I'm not even going to do anything really harsh. I want the game to be pretty simple. So this right here is a block of code. It says battle processing slime. So after he's finished saying I'm a monster, he goes into this combat. Let's make him look like a slime, because this is badass. Alright, now he's a cute slime. And if I win, he gets erased, basically. Now, erasing him means that he won't be gone forever. He'll come back when I reload this area, so there'll always be a slime there. But, and then, you could probably play like an effect or something. I think it's show animation, I can't remember, but this event, so that I can call it recursively. And, let's see, fire 1. He's going to be a really dramatically dying slime. Okay, so, all things said. Alright. I'm a monster! Okay, so now we got here a full-blown battle system. Slime attacks! I'm so glad it's not slime emerged. Fight. I don't have any specials because I'm a level 1 character. I can't fucking believe I just missed. So, one of the observations about the default game so far is that I have 542 HP as a like, I'm not even a warrior. I'm a spell sword. And that slime exploded the fuck out. Okay, alright. I think that's pretty much the basic principles here. Okay, so there's this whole other debate, and Pokemon shows us the way, and about this, and this is like a debate to death. Random encounters versus non-random encounters. This game will not have random encounters unless it's in set places, exactly like Pokemon. Okay, so with that said, stay tuned for more, and thank you for watching. And there will definitely be more on this. Get to see whatever this game is. We're gonna get to see what it's like, and then you get to play it.
Have a taste of the world, it's all